When a proud young owl crash lands in a filthy hollow, the creatures he quietly disdains become his unlikely healers and his greatest teachers.
In the uppermost reaches of the lunarlith canopy, where the stars weep light into the leaves and wind sings in forgotten tongues, the owls lived in silent order. They were called the Watchers of Olam. They held the knowledge of patterns, the songs of the spheres, the words that stitched heaven to earth. Corilo was the most gifted of the younglings. His eyes could catch the flicker of a firefly from leagues away. He'd memorized the Codex of Sky Laws before his second molt. Elders nodded at him in silent approval, and on the night of his long flight, they entrusted him with two sacred items, a blind lantern carved from a shard of moonbone. It gave no light, but it was said to warm in the presence of unspoken truth. A lens of clarity, crystal-bound and feather-framed, used to discern the hidden essence of things. As they placed these in his satchel, Elder Nyros whispered, "You see well, Corilo, but don't mistake clarity for purity or wisdom for height. Some truths are too low for lofty eyes to catch." Corilo nodded. He bowed, but he did not understand. He flew alone through the forest's high currents. He dared the storm winds. He relished his flight. But when a sudden maelstrom twisted through the lunarlith, Corilo misjudged the updraft. He spiraled. The winds battered his wings. His satchel tore. The lens shattered. He fell like a broken prophecy. He awoke in a hollow. Mud hugged his feathers. His wing throbbed, sprained, perhaps worse. He couldn't fly, and gathered round him were the beasts he had only ever heard of in cautionary tales. Pigs, thick with muck and musky joy. Jackals, laughing even while helping. Rats, grimy but deft with their little paws. It was they who fed him crushed berries. It was a pig who brought moss for his wing. A rat who stitched his satchel with bits of thread. A jackal who kept the flies away with its snapping. Corilo said little. He was grateful, but somewhere beneath the surface of his gratitude, a thought kept forming. It is strange that such unformed things should be so kind. He watched them at night, watched them bicker, play, steal, joke. He observed the way they snorted and stumbled. He felt their breath as they curled beside him for warmth. And deep down he pitied them, not with cruelty, but with the soft contempt of one who believes he knows better. He imagined himself one day telling the others about this, about how he survived among the base ones, how even in the mire, the wise owl kept his dignity. His lantern stayed cold. Weeks passed. One morning, the jackal named Ulio placed something at Corilo's side, a smooth sliver of mirror burnished from some lost bit of glass. "Found it in the garbage heap," he said, tongue lolling. "Thought you might like to see yourself." Corilo looked and did not recognize himself. His feathers were matted, his eyes tired, his ceremonial bearing wilted. Yet there was something softer about his face, something unguarded. The blind lantern did not glow. That night, as Corilo walked quietly to the edge of the bog, he noticed a hunched figure sitting on a rock, a shadowed owl older than the sky. The elder spoke without turning. "You still carry the cracked lens, don't you?" Corilo blinked. "You know me? I know the shape of your soul. I once wore it." Corilo sat. The elder continued. "They cared for you, and you called it kindness, but in your heart you made a tally of their filth. You have mistaken disorder for depravity, laughter for foolishness, and simplicity for lack." Corilo didn't argue. He only lowered his eyes. The elder reached into the fog and brought forth a third object, a stone basin, smooth and deep, filled with rainwater. "Look," he said. Corilo peered into it. The mirror of water revealed not his face, but scenes: the rat cradling its child, the pig weeping beside a dying sibling, the jackal burying scraps near Corilo's sleeping body to save them for later. "These are not low," the elder said, "only near. And nearness is a weight too great for pride to bear." Then the blind lantern pulsed, just once. The elder owl placed a talon on Corilo's chest and said, "Humility is not thinking less of others, it's learning to kneel without needing to rise." And he was gone. In time, Corilo's wing healed, but he delayed his flight. He began helping with the truffle foraging. He guarded rat pups while their parents slept. He danced, awkwardly but sincerely, at the jackal's dusk feast. He never preached, never quoted scrolls. He asked questions instead, and listened to stories that would never be written. The blind lantern glowed now and then, not when he taught, but when he simply was with them. When he did return to the Lunalith canopy, he carried only 3 items in his satchel: the blind lantern, now warm with memory, the cracked lens to remind him not to trust his own eyes too much, and the mirror shard from the garbage heap. Because sometimes, the lowest things reveal the truest face.